Welcome to ICEF Monitor. I'm here with Ryan Hall, the president of ESLI in the US. Thank you so much for coming, Ryan.
Thank you for having me.
When looking at the US market, there has been an abrupt change in Saudi students coming to the US. That has to do with the abrupt cut of the scholarship of King Abdullah. How are US language schools reacting, and how are they responding to that?
Well, it's obviously had an impact on our schools in the United States. However, I still think Saudi is a great market for U.S. schools and ESL programs. Right now it's about working with individual components within Saudi Arabia. So for instance, the Ministry of Higher Education, the Ministry of the Military, several groups are still working with SACM and the Ministry of Higher Education in Saudi Arabia, but certainly you have to work harder now than you had to in the past to get those students. Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that? What tips can you give other educators? How do you get in there?
Yeah, I would say making a trip to Riyadh and Jeddah are as important now as they've ever been. You know, we used to work predominantly in Washington, D.C. to recruit those students and build cooperation with the Saudi Cultural Mission. I think they're still very important. But now putting some boots on the ground in Saudi Arabia, meeting with different groups, different organizations, different government offices can still help you create a pipeline for Saudi students into the United States.
We also heard, or we also noticed, that the change in administration has had an effect. Can you talk a little bit about that? What effect did it have?
Sure.
How did it affect your schools?
Well, ESLI is lucky enough to work with Canadian and U.S. schools, but we've definitely seen a switch from students attending our U.S. universities and ESL programs to our Canadian school. Certainly a nationalistic wave in the United States isn't good for an international company. And I do think students and families are concerned as ever about safety and being an important part of the United States higher education experience. But all of that being said, I think that the United States is still a great destination for higher education. And I still think that we offer a great opportunity for international students from around the globe to come and study. I do think that visas and those sort of things have been suppressed a bit in the last year and a half, but I expect that to improve over the next 2 years.
What is ESLI doing? What are other schools doing to counter that message that the US is, and make sure that the students get the message that the US is still a welcoming place, a welcoming country?
Well, I think we have to meet with agencies, families, and students abroad and assure them that it's a safe and welcoming place at our universities in the United States. There are sanctuaries for international students, and I think that they can still come to the United States and enjoy an excellent education experience. I think we're also focused more on retention. You know, once those students come and are in our classrooms, making sure we provide the student services and a welcoming environment so not only do they want to come, but those who are able to make it can stay.
Thank you for watching the first part of ICEF Monitor. Stay tuned for part number 2.